Hey, it's Coach K again, and so far we've mastered the technique of accents and how the 4 basic strokes come into play. We've isolated our hands, we've mastered the technique, and began alternating our strokes. And now for the fun part, creating patterns with accents. So we're going to start with a pattern that's used by percussionists all around the world, whether they're a snare drummer in a drum corps or a percussionist in a philharmonic, and it's called the 4-2-1 pattern. And basically what it is you have a set of 4 16th notes. And of those 4 16th notes, you start with the accent on the first 16th note. Then you move it over to the second 16th note when you play it again. Then you move it over to the third 16th note, and then the last 16th note. And basically the reason it's called 4-2-1 is because you play the pattern 4 times, and then you play the pattern 2 times, and then you play the pattern 1 time. So here's what the 4s sound like. Starting with the accent on the first 16th note, you're going to play it 4 times, and then you're going to move over to the second one, you're going to play that 4 times. So here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, ready, and... So that's the 4s. We played each of those 4 times. And the 2s would be the same thing, except because it's half as long as the 4s, we're going to repeat it to create the 4 measures like the 4s did. So here it goes. Here's the 2s. Ready, and... Okay, so there's the 2s. Then you have the 1s. You play 1 count of everything and repeat it 4 times to equal the 4 measures. Something like this. 2, 3, 4. So that's the 1s. We put it all together, it creates the 4-2-1 exercise. Now with this video, you should have received the 16th note with 1 accent grid exercise. Go ahead and get that out if you haven't already before you go on with the video. Now if you're watching this video and you don't have the exercise, it means that I let this video leak one day and you were smart enough to find it. So this video lesson is actually a part of my at-home study course for percussionists who want to build a strong foundation of technique. And if you want to access more videos and hundreds of exercises, everything you need to know is in the information below this video. But let's keep moving. So the way I would practice this 16th note accent pattern would be on my pad in a quiet place with no distractions and either my metronome or the backtracks that you received with this program. I would also count the downbeats because not only is this a good dexterity exercise, which means that you get your hands, both working, but it's also a great timing exercise. So let's try playing this one all the way through together, counting and really focusing on getting those full extensions with the accent and keeping those taps and upstrokes nice and low and nice and loose. I've got my backtracks ready. I think we're going to start with the slowest one. It's 80 beats per minute. It's the electronic beat. Okay, so we're going to play together. You ready? Here we go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And that backtrack was the perfect time. It ended right with us. Okay, so we've played that exercise once together. Now, were you perfect the first time? Probably not, and that's okay. You want to make sure that when you're practicing in a mirror, and like I've said before, playing in the bathroom is a great place because usually your counter is about hip height, which is perfect to put your pad on because that's where your pad should be. And then you can practice on the counter, you can watch your sticks, you can make sure that you're making those full extensions, make sure your taps are staying nice and low, you can check your angle of your sticks, you can make sure you're not slicing and going to the side, but you're playing straight up and down like we've talked about in past videos. So I would strongly suggest playing in a mirror, whether it's in the bathroom or on your bed and maybe you've got a mirror on the wall or your closet is a mirror. You definitely want to be practicing this in a place where you can see it. And like I said before, it's really important to know where the downbeat is when we're playing this because it's really about locking in that time just as much as it is working on the dexterity of getting both hands to be able to work. And I mean, it's not natural to be speaking and moving like this, it probably won't be easy at first, but just take it slow and chunk it down if you need to. Just do one grouping at a time and you're going to be in really good shape if you can discipline yourself to actually count those downbeats while you play it. Now, a fun variation of this exercise that'll really get your brain moving is instead of moving the accent from one E and you can play it backwards and start on the to the and to the E to the downbeat. It's a lot of fun. You can build on this pattern too. I mean, you've got 4 notes to work with, so you're not limited to just one accent. You can put in 2 accents and move those accents around. You can put in 3 accents and move those accents around. And I've written all of these down for you so that they can be in your worksheets and you can really go to town on this exercise. And in your worksheets, you'll also see an exercise that I use with my drum set students. You'll see that we keep the standard 2-4 pattern with the hi-hat and the snare, but we move the bass drum where the accents were in the exercise we just did, starting on the 1, moving over to the E, moving over to the and to the And I couldn't exactly haul my entire drum set into this studio, so I recorded it on my iPhone, just so that you can kind of get a taste of it, what it's going to sound like. So here's the 2s for you. By following these simple patterns, you can create some amazing dexterity between your hands and your feet. So those are our first 16th note accent patterns. And in 2 weeks, we're going to be working on diddles and drags, and we're going to use the same 4-2-1 pattern to create an awesome grid that's going to open up a whole new world for you to create hybrid rudiments. So you want to be practicing this 16th note accent pattern until your hands blister. Make sure you use good technique, and then I'm going to see you next week for our lesson on double strokes.